The April 28th, 2021 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen will come to order. I'd like to welcome everyone joining over the phone or on Facebook Live or on WebEx. Please remember that we don't monitor the Facebook comments, so if you do want to speak during the meeting, you just have to use the dial-in number. And then stay muted, please, until called upon. So thank you. So the first item, let's do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So the next one is approval of the minutes. Could I get a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of April 14th, 2021? So moved. Second?
A second.
A motion and second. Any discussion? No? No?
Well, good.
Thank you, Stacy.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Good job.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Could I also get a motion to approve the joint Board of Selectmen Economic Development Commission special meeting minutes of April 22nd, 2021? So moved.
A second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
No.
It was good. Right. Yes. Thank you to Stacy and to Steve Hammond and Jim Linkus. They all helped with those minutes. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. So under correspondence, we received correspondence, which you don't usually get, from John Crew regarding automatically sending the budget to referendum. And so to summarize, basically he requested that we review the budget vote information for the last 6 to 8 years to see if it points to trends that either support or reject a change in policy, as well as to engage the public to better understand their support or opposition to any changes. And he also noted that he wanted to be very clear that this request should not be considered in any attempt to limit voter participation. He's only questioning whether the town budget should always be voted upon at a town meeting as per our charter or continue to be sent to referendum. So we got that email this morning. I will send an email back if you're listening, Jeff. But we did already, just based on that, send an email to our registrar of voters team downstairs and ask that they could start compiling data on that. And also, if they can, which we don't know if they can, based on voter machine information, like the times. Mm-hmm. So I know back years ago, we used to only do a noon till 8 instead of a 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so if the morning hours aren't very heavily utilized, that's another option that we could consider, and that would have some cost savings to do a shorter day. So I think, though, I mean, tell me what you guys think. I think it's worth at least looking at, and I completely agree with what John's saying. Like, obviously a 5% turnout in previous years, I think it was 7, 8, some years it got as high as 20, but that was usually when it was very contentious and I went through a lot of ground. So I mean, there's been a number of years of low turnout. Part of me wants to believe that we can, do a big public campaign and maybe, do even more to get people involved in the budget process, but, and try and get those numbers up. But, I also know, I mean, we'd be challenged to find a location that could hold 700, 800, 900 people. So that'd be something else to really think about. If we got a similar turnout that we do for a referendum, it'd probably be lower, but I don't know if you guys have initial thoughts or something we should talk about.
So, I mean, getting more people to vote for the budget has always been a constant conversation in time that I was on the Board of Finance. I mean, when you think of the number of hours collectively that go into the budget, right? It's massive. It's thousands of hours. And with all the people that are involved in the review process and the hearings and the presentations, and I almost think so. I know we now have a communications committee. So I mean, and no matter how often or how well I think the referendum is publicized, you always get people who are surprised. What, that was yesterday? Yeah. So I think I like the idea of a referendum. Because I think if even yesterday, the total number of people that voted, if every single one of them showed up to vote at a town meeting, we wouldn't even have a space for them. And that was a 5% voter turnout. So I don't think going to a town meeting is the way to go, not for the budget. I like the referendum, but I think maybe figuring out a way to communicate, more communication about the budget and the vote and how important it is, and some highlights, something like that. I mean, this is something I've been thinking about for maybe over a decade now, but yeah, so.
And I think it makes sense to try to somehow engage the public and see what they think. I tend to agree with you. If everybody who voted in the referendum came to a town meeting, we wouldn't have a place to have it. I was trying to think, where could we go? Sit out on the football field? I mean, maybe, but then again, I understand John's concern with the cost savings. But I'd love to hear, what the public thinks, especially the people that do vote. Are they, happy with the referendum? Would they rather have a town meeting? And I think we need to look maybe for partnerships in getting the word out. Like in the past, the school has been, helpful to get the word out. Maybe we try to reach out to them, or the communications committee certainly could think of other places to engage to try to get the communication going a little bit better.
No, I think that's a great point, and, something that we should look at more. So, I think definitely maybe a more formal partnership with the school to get the word out of the budget, because I think they typically do it. I don't think anything happened this year. It was an easy kind of budget, year for them, but, so maybe we could talk about a more formal partnership with them, but then maybe also other nonprofits who are part of our budget, who have newsletters, or just brainstorming out loud here in the meeting, but yeah, maybe we could look at other potential partnerships that people might be willing to help us get the word out. And if anyone is actually listening to this meeting, if you have ideas, we are very eager to hear them. And maybe just while we're on the topic, or I'll save it to our update. But thank you, John, for reaching out, and we will look at this and, I think engaging more on the topic.
That also might be something for the clerk's office, when somebody comes to register as a voter, where to find information on what you need to vote on, and maybe have the Town of Stonington's website a favorite on your phone. I mean, I think if people really want to be engaged with the technology the way it is, to check the town's website every day. And I've seen it, especially with COVID, right? I mean, we've had daily updates. And the budget, the draft of the budget was posted there.
All the dates,
all the dates for all the presentations. So it's almost as if to truly be a participating citizen, you should check the town's website every day. But how do we get that out to people? Like, have it be your favorite, just check. All you have to do is actually even just check the front page, because the whole calendar is there. Like, everything they need to know is right there on the front page. You really don't have to do too many clicks to see what's happening in Stonington on any one day.
No, this is really helpful. That's a great idea also to think about, like, partnering with different departments, or maybe even like realtor groups and others, because we have like a simple one-pager of like, you're new to town or new to registering to vote, how do you stay engaged and involved, and like maybe like a little FAQ about how your government works, and read more here. And because we were saying a lot of this is part of my later update, but I think most people don't know that you can get emails right to your inbox. So like you go onto the town page and you can click, and it could be by your department or by board and commission, but also even like if that gets too in the weeds for you, you can just click the town news. And like we said, that will give you kind of the bigger highlights. And for example, the budget, people that signed up for the town news, they would have gotten, a kind of update probably in February about all the dates coming up. They would have gotten an update about the public hearing. They would have gotten an update about the budget vote, so all that stuff is there, as well as planning and zoning updates and other kind of relevant things. So I think it is like how to communicate about communication.
And I'd be interested to hear from people who aren't happy with the communication, how they think a good way to communicate would be.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it's not social media or print media or radio or the website, then what other options are there? And maybe there are some that we're not thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, John, for spurring us a little bit over.
It's good food for thought.
Okay. Okay, so we'll circle back on that one. So next we have a reappointment to the Stonington Facilities Committee. Could I get a motion to reappoint Paul Sarter and Bill King to the Stonington Facilities Committee?
So moved.
A second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
No, just thank you you to both of them.
Yeah,
Thank
both hard
you.
workers.
They're very hard workers.
Yeah, thank you, we might have some more work for them soon, so thank you. All those in favor? Aye, motion carries, thank you, Paul and Bill. So under old business and update on COVID, while we're on the communication topic, just a reminder, every Friday for quite some time now, we do an update that you can find on the town website, and we also post it on Facebook for the town of Stonington and Instagram for the town of Stonington, where we try and share highlights of new stats, so looking at cases, vaccine rate, for both the town, the region, and the state, and then also other resources that are out there. So some kind of outstanding information that's sort of always there, and some are updated, stats every week. And you can find vaccine information, links, kind of state and local insights. So, definitely check that out and help share it. And then the only other thing I say is, like, the big message that's coming, not just from our state, but all around the country, is we've kind of started to stagnate on vaccines. So anything you can do to encourage people, particularly younger generations, to get the vaccine is really important. They're seeing a rise in hospital rates all around the country for younger people. So they're not just getting sick, but actually getting to that level of hospitalization requirement. So, we really want to be sure that, the younger generation is getting vaccines, both protecting themselves, obviously, and those around them. So anything you can do, if you know people who are a bit younger, I think up until like the 55 and older were really high rates, really great, and then it started kind of trickling down. So that was one kind of plea. I think we used to have too much demand, not enough supply, and now we have the supply, but not enough demand. So hopefully that will start picking up, again. And then the last thing is that, most people have probably seen, but the governor, ordered almost all mandates, related to business closures or social distancing or, any of these things to be lifted, May 19th. So the mask mandate will stay, and the others are being lifted, and as things evolve, just check the state website, or again, our weekly update for insights on that. Right, and then, so under new business, we got a request from the Foxtuck Fire Department, so we would like to make a motion to approve the building permit fees associated with the partial roof replacement at the Foxtuck Fire Department in the amount of $106.
So moved. This is to waive the fees.
Waive the fees.
Waiving the fees.
Okay, we're not already good, sorry. Great. Okay, there's a motion and a second to waive the fees of the amount of $106. Any discussion?
No.
No, we'll just thank you guys for your service. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. And the next request is the use of the town dock. Could I get a motion to approve the use of the town dock field on Saturday mornings from May 29th, 2021 to October 30th, 2021 for the Stonington Farmers Market?
So moved.
Yeah.
I love the Farmers Market. Any discussion?
No,
No.
I'm just happy.
I'm very happy with that, I'm outside. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. So the next item is, from the public. I don't think anyone is on. You can press *3 if you are on, and then *6. But there's, if you're watching this later, you can reach out to us if you have any comments or questions. So the last item is, updates from the Selectmen. Good.
I don't have that much, because none of you were here yesterday. It's okay, and, I do wanna, say that I thought it was a positive joint meeting we had with the EDC, looking at potential future plans for the circus lot, starting with a survey, and considering different possibilities for that. I did reach out to the state, to Department of Environmental Protection, or Energy and Environmental Protection, and it's not gonna be easy to get historical information on the abutting property without doing a file search or a Freedom of Information Act request. Because while they're putting things online, they just started, and they're starting with the A's with Andover, and here we are in Stonington, so we were a while to go. But I will do a Freedom of Information Act request to try to get some more information.
Thank you. And that's about it.
Thank you.
No, I don't have any updates either. I just, and I think I mentioned this last time, the Climate Change Task Force has looked at the, coastal resiliency, and kind of conservation, and putting together a list. I think when I looked at the list, it's over 100 items. It's kind of like prioritizing so that we can tackle one or two of the, or more of the tasks just to help. So I think they're gonna be, there's two people that have, prioritized it, two members, and, the chair has asked all members to complete their prioritization by the next meeting, which is in May. So, we'll just keep that updated, so, and I think that's really the only thing. Everybody else is starting the meeting again next week with the, May, so, yeah.
No, that'll be great. And maybe I feel like we covered a lot under the other items, but maybe just on that topic, we are gonna reach out, hopefully actually by the end of this week, to all of our board and commission, our 30-plus board and commission members, to talk about the transition back to in-person. And also, we've, successfully, I think, identified all but maybe two, new locations for a lot of them, because they were either meeting in just, much too small spaces, mostly much too small spaces, and so we've been able to secure new spots at district office, which is great, big thanks to the school for that, and then others at the police station, and another thanks for them. So that'll be good, and then we just need to kind of work through the transition back to in-person, and, hopefully for the most part still offering the virtual component for now, with COVID still here, to be kind of fair to everyone who might want to access it, and kind of see how that rolls out. But it'll be nice, I'm sure, for a lot of people to be able to be back in person together. And then,
I have a question about that. So if at some point in time when it's completely all in person, I know it's been very helpful for some people to be able to go to the Facebook page and watch a meeting. Will they at least be recorded? Is that something that's possible, even if it's not like a real-time recording, but like to have it recorded and then posted?
So that's what we're working on with Stacy and with IT, with Roger, is trying to figure out how to do it as simple as possible, since a lot of times it is the volunteers themselves now, running these meetings. So, yeah, the idea is like, could we at least, still do them through WebEx and at least have the audio, basically to put them onto YouTube where they have to be a video. So it would be like, we still have to have the video component in order to post them for free to YouTube, but even if it's not like a perfect video situation, just at least that way the recording is up on YouTube for after the fact. So that's our goal that we're working towards right now. And I think we're just gonna have to get feedback from the board and commission members, they were willing to do it for a certain amount of time, understandably, but, as they're back, and certain ones like to meet outside, or it could be, a little bit challenging. But the goal, I'd say right now, is to keep going with the access through YouTube.
Okay.
Going forward, even if they're not live streamed, like only a few of us are live streamed to Facebook Live. So that'll probably go away, but, hopefully we'll still be able to do the YouTube recording.
Okay.
It's just, it's a heavy lift for everybody, so, so we'll see how we can kind of move forward with that. And then, hopefully by the next meeting we'll have some more good updates. But everybody's been kind of plugging away really hard at work, ranging from kind of lots of grant applications going on. We'll see if any of them stick. Hopefully some do. Great, we had a call to Long Island Town Future Fund today about living shoreline potential. We've been talking with others about kind of resiliency grants. Potential work at the town dock, obviously we'd already talked about the brownfield one, so yeah, I feel like we're trying to find money wherever we can. Oh, and the big one, we just put out a press release, so it should come out soon. So we had our call and reconfirmed our AAA bond rating last week, or 2 weeks ago, which was wonderful, and then they sold refinanced the bonds, and we're gonna have a little over $900,000 in savings.
$900,000? That's even more than what was projected.
Yeah, so it'll be over 13 years, but it'll be pretty heavy upfront next year. So taxpayers should see a pretty decent decrease in the debt, part of the tax bill for next year. So that'll be a really nice saving. That's
very good, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good. So that's it, I'll stop.
No, that's really good news, yeah.
And thanks to everybody involved in that. So, anything further? No, we'll stand adjourned at about 10 minutes.
I don't have anything else.